All right. Good morning, Dustin.
Oh, good
Kamusta?
morning.
Kamusta?
Yun naman.
Kamusta, kamusta dyan sa South?
Ayan, it's less strict. Uh, you can go out normally, and it's getting more and more normal every day.
Oo.
The traffic's coming back, no?
Oo. Alam mo, I started seeing a lot of flower photos everywhere kasi parang nag-bloom yung mga flowers. Ano bang nangyari with the flower? Ano yung mga flowers mo na apektuhan ba during this time or paano?
Well, yes and no. Kasi what for one thing, of course, all the hotels are closed, all the restaurants are closed, so there's no one displaying. So what happened was we have stock, diba? So
Oo.
that's one. But also our farm, what happened was we don't have employees reporting. Only the ones who stay there are able to report. So that one naman negatively affects it because there's no one to harvest, there's no one to ano.
So they're
But
blooming.
yeah, of course we have stock.
Okay. Kamusta yung Taal pala? Wala, ano bang ano sa with Taal? I know your farm is
Yeah.
near
Well,
right ba?
we didn't get affected because it was going the other way. We're actually in Alfonso, Cavite. But parang after this COVID thing, it's like completely people forgot about it. What happened? But that incident. Yeah, and I was just there in a resort of a friend of mine to visit him. It's not open, but I visited it, and they're basically back to normal.
Ah,
Yeah, I mean,
ganon?
it's clean na. Oh, it's clean, and wala lang guests. Of course, it's closed,
Oo.
but it's back to normal.
Ang galing ang galing.
That's a resort beside beside Taal.
Oh. Hindi ba nag-a-up yung Taal ngayon?
No, but it's like a desert, man. It's brown. Diba green yan? It's like brown, and then it's a different shape. It's a different
Ah,
shape. I think it went down or up. Basta the shoreline went up. So my friend has the boat jetty there.
oo.
And the boats sumasayad kasi it's nakaangat siya.
Oh, so paano? Wala.
Well, few inches lang naman. So kaya naman, but I mean if the ground moves a few inches, di ba nakakatakot siya?
All right. I'm so excited about our discussion today because I know that we've been talking about business on and offline when we meet. Ang tagal mo na rin sa business na to, and maybe we can really talk about what happened,
Yeah.
what's next, di ba?
Mhm.
And maybe people can join in our discussion. Diyan sa area nyo, how's COVID pala? How are the COVID cases? You're in the south,
Uh,
di ba?
yeah, here in the south, it's not a lot. Of course, if you look at the age group that's affected are older talaga, but it's not a lot. It seemed a lot in the beginning, but it never went up na. Kasi people here naman they follow naman the rules eh. But of course, since people here travel, then travel a lot, diba? Then obviously nung nag-start, meron. But ang
Mhm.
napansin ko, people got better and then the cases didn't really add. At least in where I immediately live. I guess kasi
Oo.
people follow. And then I guess the places where people don't follow, that's where it blew up naman, 'di ba? So
Yeah. Kamusta naman yung ano mo, yung view in Bolinao?
um
Sarado na or is
oh views. Well, we have a lot of inquiries. That's
that's for sure.
Oh, kasi I think people are dying to get out. Yung view kasi it's separated eh. It's even without social distancing. It's basically social distancing, right?
Correct.
So,
Oh,
yeah, I mean, we didn't build it for COVID, of course, diba? But it seems like because they're individual units. Parang it seems like I guess people are okay with it. But for sure, one thing's for sure, people want to go out. It's just they want to take the precautions. But they keep on asking. But the local government there, alam mo naman dito yung local government, they have their own rules, di ba?
Oo.
So, so we're waiting for their rules. Although Department of Tourism already came up with their own rules.
Guidelines. Oo.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, yan yung mapag-usapan natin in a while. So, I guess we'll probably start na. We'll start with the OBB lang and then short introduction. Okay? All right. All right. Thank you. And we're here talking to Stan. Thank you for talking to. All right. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning,
Morning.
Dustin. Good morning. Good morning if you're watching during this replay of this video, or if you're watching now during the live stream, please continue to, you can join our discussions by putting your questions or comments in the comment section below. We're live streaming in Facebook and YouTube. And we're talking to a special person. It's a good friend that we've met along the way. So this person, I'll let him introduce himself, but just a few things. He runs Island Rose, one of the largest e-commerce roses store in the Philippines for how many years, and runs View Cabins in Bolinao, and other businesses into food and other gift businesses. So we're talking about how to survive this pandemic. And this is for small and medium businesses. We're brainstorming on ideas on how to survive it, best practices so far that we've seen. And yeah, join our discussion. This will be interesting, especially for entrepreneurs out there who is trying to pivot or managing to survive the pandemic. Good morning, Dustin. Maybe you can do a short introduction.
Well, hi, I'm Dustin. I run islandrose.net. It's a flower delivery service. Also, View Beach Cabins, which is a cabin rental service, among other small businesses that I have. So, Island Rose is one of the oldest, like Anton said. We've been here since 1999. So, it's actually the longest running e-commerce retailer in the Philippines.
Is that the official na ba yan? You're the...
Yeah, kasi, alam mo, marami kaming kasabay, so it's arguable who started, who was first. But namin is 99, and the ones that I was with, they're all closed. Wala na sila. They didn't. I mean, they moved on to other ventures, I guess.
Oo. So you are considered the OG of e-commerce in the Philippines, yeah? Original gangsta.
Well, unless someone comes up and says they've had that e-commerce site in 1999, parang wala na. But you know, there were a lot of good e-commerce sites that time, good ideas.
Yeah, and I think you're the longest running na hindi nag-rebrand, no? Kasi maraming bought out, branded.
Yeah, they rebranded, or they changed URLs, or even changed business models.
Or even change business model.
So, maraming ganon. Tsaka, you can imagine, dial-up pa yung iba nun eh. So to survive that, you really need to be, really a lot of effort.
Yes. So maybe that's our first discussion. So the e-commerce, what do you think about the e-commerce now? Kasi parang now is the only time after 21 years that you think e-commerce is really booming because of the pandemic, no? What do you think? What happened this year?
I think so. You know, the thing is, of course well, I'm a bit older na, no? There are a lot of younger guys there. But you know what I noticed is my friends and my older friends, they all of a sudden they're like experts in e-commerce, diba? They know where to buy things, what to buy. Kasi you have to, when we were in quarantine, everyone had to be creative where to get things, where to buy stuff, where to source their food, diba? Nung pandemic, without going out, diba? So all of a sudden, all my friends my age, my older friends, they became experts. So you can imagine, diba, how much that added to the internet economy. Ang laki siguro nun, diba?
Yeah.
And then not to mention, when someone learns how to meet via Zoom, for example, or call via Viber, they're biglang they're trusted into the internet economy already. So once you learn how to Zoom or how to do these meetings online or watch things online or nag-subscribe ka sa Netflix, it's easier na to go to an e-commerce site and buy something.
Oo,
Di
yes.
ba? Oo, it becomes parang natural na eh.
Pero kamusta naman? How did it affect the affordable luxury e-commerce business?
Well, I would say a lot. I would say a lot. First, because our logistics is not how you say it's not 100% back yet. Now the Metro Manila logistics is fine, but for example, us we do nationwide. So because there's no next day delivery for fresh goods, we only have we only have Metro Manila to survive with, and then the provinces we can't deliver to. So that's the issue there. But of course, yung here in Metro Manila, Lala Move, Grab, all those guys are here.
Oo.
So walang problema.
Kamusta? Are flowers ba an essential item or non-essential item? What happened during the pandemic?
You know, when we started to sell again, which is the time that we were given the permission to, our farm, kasi you know we have limited resources, we maxed it out. We maxed out our resources all the way till Mother's Day because it was Mother's Day.
Oo.
So we would fill up a day with the maximum amount of deliveries and assemblies that we could do, and then we would deliver. So sold out kami basically every day. Now, of course, ibang usapan yon because that was a occasion, eh, diba? But when it's not an occasion, what I noticed is the sales are okay. Actually, yung Metro Manila namin is normal. It's the normal sales. It's the normal sales because people then have to get in touch with each other. Hindi naman tumitigil yung birthday kung may COVID. Diba? Birthday, anniversary, it doesn't stop it. So I would say, but kami, on our side, what we did, because we know it's a difficult time. Eh. And because the sun is shining and we have so much harvest, what we did, we sort of went on sale. So what we did, we made it more affordable for them. Anyway, we're straight from the farm, eh, so we can actually do that, diba? So that's what we did. So sa volume normal, maybe the income not so much because we're on basically on sale, diba? But volume is quite normal for Metro Manila. In fact, medyo mataas pa nga ng kaunti.
Oo nga. Like dito, Tina commented here, no, 3 beses daw siyang bumili ng flowers during the lockdown, no? So, ang Father's Day hindi masyado on flowers.
You know, yung Father's Day, we notice a spike, but it's not a big spike. I think a lot of our, and you know what I noticed, the post that you showed, more girls can send flowers than the guys. That's opposite from yung dati ko.
Bakit? Why is it?
I have no idea. I have to look at the actually, even if you look at the analytics, magtataka ka na lang eh. Kung paano nangyari yun.
Pero siguro, I know a lot of entrepreneurs will be watching this na who's now doing e-commerce, di ba?
Yes.
So maraming bumibili na, marami rin nagsa-startup ng their own Shopify store, you know, yung stocks ng Shopify off the roof. Now, the question is, any tips or advice on e-commerce in 2020? Kasi nag-iba na rin yung mga payment, dumami na rin yung payment, dumami na logistics, and then may mga cyber crimes pa. So, based on your experience, maybe can you give some tips on e-commerce in this time?
I think the biggest tip that I have is know the landscape. Kasi this is a very different time that we're living in. For example, now, of course, obviously, you've seen the rise of the home sellers. Diba?
Yes.
So you have to remember, these guys have no overhead. Diba? They have no overhead. Ang overhead nila basically is their house. Diba? So those are very competitive guys. Diba? So if you're a business, you have to think like a home seller. If you're not thinking like a home seller, basically, I don't know what's going to happen, diba? To your site. And you have to
Mm-mm.
understand that if you put up a store or you put up a retail store, don't think that you're competing against those retail stores in the mall and then you price yourself that way, di ba, mga ganyan. Because that does not work. Because ang kalaban mo dyan is, again, ang tawag ko sa internet is the Wild West. Eh. Because when you get in there, you're not competing against yung immediate surrounding mo. You're competing against big companies, small
Yeah.
companies, home sellers, people who have resources that some you don't have. Scammers, 'di ba? Scammers, criminals, yan yung mga kalaban mo diyan eh.
Oo.
Liars, 'di ba? It's the Wild West. I mean, I was just looking at some sites na there was this one site, you won't believe it. He has a site, supposedly he's the best in guide, 'di ba? And then it says a scene on TV. A scene on TV. And then it's a Better Business Bureau. How can you be Better Business Bureau? You're in the Philippines. It's a state set, di ba?
Sa
A
States
lot of
yun.
yeah, and then all of these other things that you can basically lie about in the internet. So it's the Wild West. Diba? So you have to remember that in that landscape, it's not like putting up a store and then you scope your surroundings and then yun yung kalaban mo. Hindi ganon eh. Diba? On the internet, once you get in there, it's the Wild West. You're against everyone and everyone. Diba? The biggest
Oo.
company, the biggest company.
Pero hindi ba, I know there are a lot of competition, but your total addressable market, where before it's only the credit card, now mas malaki na kasi ang dami nang pwedeng bumili online, di ba?
Oo. And then of course you have to pay attention to your SEO, diba? Because no one's just going to think about your name and then be in there. Plus your social media, because that's basically the only way you sell, diba? And the payment, yung payment I think is a breakthrough. Again, yung my friends who are my age or older, biglang ang daming experts sa GCash tsaka Paymaya, di ba? Napansin mo ba? Kasi I have some Viber communities, di ba? I have some Viber communities and then someone asks, how do you do this? And then there's someone who's going to reply, ganito lang yan. So, biglang experts sa Paymaya. And I think malaking impact nun. I think it's gigantic. I think I haven't seen the figures. I haven't seen yung figures ng Paymaya and GCash and whatever online payment. Even the bank transfers from all these new online banks, diba? Security Bank, all those guys, ING, diba? They're always there. I haven't seen the figures, but I think I think those figures must be going crazy because even me, I avoid using some services, but now I use them already. So how many people are like me? How many people are like yung tita ko o kaya yung older friend ko, 'di ba? Ang dami. I have a friend who's 70 and he said he couldn't stand it na. Nag-subscribe na siya sa Netflix. Yung ganun. So, hindi na natiis, 'di ba?
Oo nga. Parang mom ko rin hindi nagba-Viber, nahirapan mag-internet. Usually ayaw niya. Ngayon wala silang choice.
Wala silang choice, di ba? Tapos nagzo-Zoom na sila, nagzo-Zoom meeting, di ba? Then of course the schools, they have to get their act together. And then and the payment ngayon, alam mo, I just bought something. I bought my vape because I quit smoking. So I bought my vape shop. You know what they told me? They don't accept cash. Oh, di ba? Saan ka dun?
Oo nga, dati. I remember cash on delivery yung king, di ba? Ngayon, may mga outlets nga hindi nagka-cash.
Oh, they told me. Sabi ko, ano na lang, I'll just pay cash pagdating. Sir, we don't accept cash. I've never heard of that. Di ba?
In your business, do you accept cash?
Yeah, actually, it's not announced yet, di ba? Kasi we're sort of on our beta for that. Medyo matagal na nga yung beta ko. But we have cash outlets. You can buy in any 7-Eleven or you can pay, basically pay in any 7-Eleven, any phone shop, bank transfer, GCash, all those. So when you get to the end of the page, you can pick whatever you want. Actually, I put that pre-COVID. not knowing COVID's going to happen. Kasi I felt na people wanted to go to, let's say, yun nga, mga 7-Eleven or something to pay instead of doing credit card, diba? Pero ngayong COVID na, palagay ko, yeah, I don't know with my investment there if it's worth it pa.
Oo nga, kung mag-work na.
We went through hoops just to get that thing going.
Pero kamusta yung cybercrime? I know one of the risks of running e-commerce, yung mga nagfro-fraud ng payment, di ba? Meron bang ganyan ngayon? Nag-increase or hindi?
We're doing two-step security na. Dati kasi hindi naman required. Ngayon, required din yung two-step authentication. But I noticed, when we were transitioning into two-step authentication, maraming fraudulent na cards na pumapasok dun sa site. But we have a good fraud detection so naagapan naman namin. Pero sobrang dami. Hundreds minsan So you know what that means? That means there's some unsecure site out there na nakunan nila ng cards and then they're testing it. And then, kasi we're flowers kami, so they have no benefit of buying from us. But they can certainly test. And then the cards that work, they can buy high-value items, let's say.
Ang galing
Ika-test nila yan And then,
Pero,
nila
can you ban it? Can you ban the credit card? Hindi naman.
Well, yeah, you can. The exact card number, you can. And after a couple of tries, mabilis kakalat yan sa mga fraud detection agencies and that card itself will be banned. Kasi aabot na yan sa Citibank or BPI or ano. But you know, mabibilis yung mga, they know naman na mabilis maban. So pag test niyan, pag pumasok yan, bibili na ng refrigerator yan or something or TV.
Mga GCash, meron bang fraud ang GCash and Paymaya so far?
Alam mo that those I've never encountered except meron din yung mga wallet minsan but ang chargeback dyan, that's what they call when someone complains and you have to give back the money, diba? Ang usual na case dyan is yung anak ginamit, hindi alam, or yung may gumamit ng hindi alam. But actually, it's sort of their fault din kung napagamit nila, diba? So, but of course, pagka ganyan kasi you really have to give back the money. So we do that. But yung mga fraud ganun, very, very minor. And with the two-step security ng credit card, malaki rin yung kinonte because you have to have your phone for you to make a transaction, diba? So, na rin, na-minimize na rin. Baka nga sa cash on delivery pa yung mas malaki. Diba? Mas malaki pero, kasi you can imagine kung TV yung that's worth it na napunin.
How about logistics? There's a lot of competition on logistics. Did it bumaba ba yung logistics cost or tumaas because of COVID?
Well, theoretically bumaba kasi marami sila, di ba? Pero alam mo, to get your way, you have to put that tip. Kunyari, you know, those peer-to-peer delivery, di ba? We do home selling also. You have to, you know what I do to just to get my items out is we tend to give, di ba yung you can bid for a higher price? I add $20 or something para mabilis. Kasi nakakatakot pag walang dumarating, di ba? So, you have a commitment to your customer. So,
ang galing, no? Di ba? Parang all this logistics innovation happening all at the same time.
Yeah. Hindi lang yun, dumadami. Maraming bago. And the ones who were displaced sa job, naging delivery guy.
Actually, in fact, so we live in Laguna, di ba? Dati walang umaabot. Lahat ng so may magpapadala sa amin ng mga food, no? Walang ayaw mag-send. Pero recently, ang dami na. Tapos recently, dati mga 500 pesos padala ng Laguna. Ngayon 250, happy move, 250. Sabi ko, okay ito Dumami daw yung riders kasi. Dumami riders.
Actually, their chance Kasi, alam mo, the home sellers, naghihintay lang naman sila na may logistics Mm-hmm. And the peer-to-peer logistics, it's almost an unlimited amount of yung they can grow as fast as the market grows Kasi platform lang, and then peer-to-peer na, it's the diba, the sharing economy. So you can actually be a small business even if you have 2 motorcycles. diba?
Oh.
One which was impossible before. Just like View Beach Cabins, my business, diba? It's like you're a hotel, but I only have how many units, diba? But I can compete with a bigger place, diba? The Airbnb guys are the same. So it really it enables you to become a small business kahit na mag-isa ka,
So sa
diba?
tingin mo it's profitable opening yun nga, a home-based e-commerce business? I know you're doing that for food eh.
Yeah,
So what do you,
you know, my son, we were, I don't know if I told you the story. My son, kasi we spend our time reading books sometimes now. Bale, we have a book and then we read it and then we talk about it. I let them read it. Well, siguro, kunyari, 5 chapters, and then we talk about those chapters. So we read this one book about how to do business, make some money. He had $1,000. So sabi ko, okay, let's make your $1,000 $10,000. So he's 13, by the way. 13, he's 13. So he had this recipe for a cake, and then he started selling it. Obviously, he made much more than that. He's 13. Diba? So if he's 13 and he can do that, I'm sure everyone can do that. Diba? So that's just selling around.
Anong book yan? Kailangan i-share yung book na yan. Ma-share rin nga sa mga anak ko.
Well, it's a crazy book by this crazy author. We've read a few things. Of course, we've read the regular things, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Yun yung mga binabasa ko sa kids ko. We've read Art of War. That particular one is called the 10X Rule, Grant Cardone.
Yes, Grant Cardone, yeah.
He's medyo crazy, diba? But pero I ask my kids, diba? So we read these books. Anong favorite nila? They like that one. Kasi there's sort of like a goal which is to 10x whatever you have, diba?
So how do you do it? Maybe this is a good Father's Day discussion then.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Kasi the 10X has audiobooks also, diba? Do you listen to the audiobook or you read it or you let them read the book?
Oh no, I let them read it. Kasi that's the point. Eh. They're a little bit free. So we interchange either Kindle or Audible. Obviously, they like Audible because they're doing other things while they're doing the book. And then when we discuss, that's when I know if they read it or not. And then we talk about it. Then I talk to them about what I've learned, what in that book you have to look out for. Because, for example, any book naman. I mean, for example, if you read something like Rich Dad Poor Dad, you can really get that book wrong. You can really get that book wrong. And I know a lot of people who've gotten that book wrong. Kasi they're into flipping houses, utang, flip, diba? And if you get that book wrong, you'll get into a lot of debt. Diba? But there's some things in that book that are really, really useful, like that cash flow quadrant of his, what's an asset, what's a liability. So that's what I discuss with my kids. What I think there's, okay, that's a little bit crazy, guys. Of course, it may work. But if it doesn't work, may consequences. Yeah. So that's how I talk to them about it. And then there's the books na you cannot find the fault in is yung mga 7 Habits. People yan, mga yan. Those things are classic yan na you can't even find the fault. The Immutable Laws of Leadership, yan.
Diba? Pero ito yung sinasabi mo, the 10X Rule.
Yeah, that's what my son read. That's why he's gone crazy with his cakes. And then to give him credit naman, it's really good. Actually, we do a lot. Well, that's between my wife and my kids. We do. Well, just to give you an idea, I think they did a couple of hundred deliveries. Just our neighbors, kanya. Even if we offer other things, maraming bumabalik dun sa original product niya. They ask for it. They ask for it. It's very good. But yun nga, if you don't take that first step, you never know. You never know. So.
And so question, what do you think sa tingin mo yung Honest Bee madali maaga silang nag-exit, would have they survived during this COVID time?
Oh, sayang, no? But kasi some people they say kunyari certain businesses, swerte niya. he was in that business because COVID ngayon and it's early. But you have to remember, we like yung Island Rose has been there for 20 years.
Mm-mm.
Ngayon lang naman naging ganito. So yeah, business is bad. But of course, if it's not one thing, it's the other thing. Diba? So all you need to do really is to adjust it. To adjust and adjust and adjust. I mean, we've gone through coup d'etats. We've gone through rebellion. We've gone through the stock market crash. We've gone through the housing bubble. Yung our company, diba? Yung waves ng competitors namin sobrang dami. There's the craze na yung malalaking company pumasok. There's the craze na discount site. There's the craze na platform, yung mga Lazada. And now here's this Shopify craze na kahit sino na lang sa garahe you can put up a site. And sa amin, it's just you just have to suck it up and adjust.
Okay. Now, that's a good takeoff point for our topic, no? Which is how can small and medium businesses survive the pandemic? You underwent all this crisis in the past. Any tip on siguro once we're out of this lockdown or starting to rebuild, ano yung mga first things to do to survive this pandemic?
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing, right? What I'm doing and then what I did that I thought works. Diba, yung what I've done in the past that works now.
Oh, actually, you're the master of that So kaya I wanted to talk to you about that, yeah.
One is the get yourself your productivity tools. Get all cloud-based. So whether it's email, your team working app, diba? Yung how to manage your team, how to manage your projects. Get yourself one of those. Diba? It's cheap and it's great. And we've been doing this for a long time. Yung those mga kinds of mga productivity apps, diba? So of course you've got all sorts of apps, but get yourself one of those. You're gonna thank yourself after that because
maybe can you share? I know you use this for your ERP also, all your billing. Maybe you can share what you use.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. This one I used, which I'm sort of that I stopped using it, diba? Because I had another piece of software na kompleto na sila. So I sort of but Basecamp is really fantastic. And then there's Trello, which is a team project management app also. There's Microsoft Teams. And then there's a couple of other, but if you put in a search for project management na app, there's so many. There's phone-based ones. There's ones that almost don't cost anything. Marami siya. And if you get yourself one of those, you'll be able to manage your team much better. It's like a remote control almost. And then you remember things that you're going to do. Kasi I have this. I read this in a book somewhere. I don't know which book. Getting Things Done. You know that book, Getting Things Done. Anyway,
GDT, yes.
Your mind it's not for storing data. It's for making decisions and making diba? It's not for storing. We're not built for that. Your phone is built for that better, diba? Than storing data. So what do you do to get it? You put your data. You have to be able to put things that you're going to do somewhere where you're going to get reminded. Now some people just use the calendar, which is great, but I would say use a to-do app of some sort, diba? So that you're reminded of things you're going to do, so that your mind is not filled with things na lalabhan mo yan or magpupunta ka sa grocery or I have to make this phone call or I'm going to meet ganyan. Even yung meeting, I put it there and then I forget about it and then it reminds me na lang. So that you're not spending time trying to remember because we're not built for that.
Okay.
Because some people are talented in that, but we're not really built for that. You won't be able to beat a good to-do app in that. And kung merong kunyari like me, I use this one. It's called Things. I absolutely love it. It's an app. Things. You try it. It's gonna change your life. I use it. It's a very simple app. It's called Things. Now this one, I put it there and then I forget about it. And then every day I look at it and I check off things. So even the most trivial things I put there, diba? Move this thing to that room. I just put it. That's why I never forget. I never forget. I almost never forget anything. Unless, of course, as long as I have my phone. Diba? And ang nangyayari dyan, Anton, if you're against someone na ganon, what's going to happen is like, ang kalaban mo almost AI, di ba? So, di ba? So, how do you beat someone who can remember everything?
Yes.
Okay, so that's one thing, get yourself your productivity up. And then the other thing that I do na I've done before na I'm happy I do now is we're stickler for yung analytics. Yung site analytics.
Oo. So paano 'yon?
Looking at who visited your site, your site traffic, kung mas maraming male female, kung anong income bracket, age bracket, saan papunta, saan pumunta. We're for that we're crazy about that, yung analytics. In fact, I'm in a whole change of analytics software right now today kasi we think of course it's going to be the future, so we're improving so even advertising data, search data, I happen to think ours is outdated, so we're going to change to new ones that tell us more things. Again,
secret pa yan? Anong tool yan? Google Analytics yan? Hindi.
Everything has analytics now. You just have to look at it, diba? You just have to look at it. For example, yung Facebook, your Facebook page has analytics.
Yes.
Just look at it, diba? Just look at it. And then yung Google Analytics, of course, it's there. If your site has Google Analytics installed or Facebook Pixel, diba? The analytics is there. Ang difference lang is if you look at it or not, diba? Even my yung help desk app ko, there's analytics there also. I know which of my people answer more emails, how fast they answer it, how long inquiry has been there before they answer it. Kasi kami when we process yung mga help items, we're very particular with it. I'm particular with it. Walang naiiwan doon eh. Pag once everyone goes home, there's a certain thing dapat walang naiiwan. And the thing is, I check because I check my analytics. Diba? So again, diba, pagkalaban, if you think about this, diba, and then you're thinking about a competitor, and then let's say you're not like that, and then your competitor's like that, magkakaproblema ka eh, diba? So diba? Because it's like you're against the machine.
Yes.
Diba? So yeah. And then the stuff that I'm doing na I haven't done before is like we're thinking of building a home office, improving our home office. Like now I'm in my breakfast table. I should be in my home office. Sometimes I zoom from my dining room, which is I don't even like the how that place looks. Diba? So yung home office, we're improving it. I'm putting like a family room for our kids para yung home studies nila mas comfortable. And then we're putting smaller rooms for na pwedeng i-aircon so that it's comfortable pero mura yung aircon kasi it's smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? So we're getting our house in shape. Another thing that we did that I'm so happy about is our house is solar powered.
Oo nga. Okay.
Diba? I mean, that thing works 12 hours a day. You don't have to look. You don't have to pay him SSS or diba? Or a salary. Diba? He's just gonna go. Diba? And like Elon Musk said, nga, our nuclear power from the sky has never gone down in thousands of years. Diba?
Galing. Actually, naisip ko nga yan. O nga, no, dapat nag-solar power na rin ako before. Is it cheaper now to install solar panels?
Yeah, I did mine in 2 steps. Once 4 years ago or 5 years ago. I think that made the money back already. and then another one 2 years ago or last year. Mga magto 2 years na siguro yung isa. I'll tell you the price difference is the price difference is 40% cheaper from the first one 5 years ago to the second one. So ngayon baka cheaper pa.
Oo nga, dahil ang dami nag-install. Ang galing that's good.
Tsaka, di ba, if you look at the sharing economy, now we're just sharing mga, di ba, we're sharing rooms sa Airbnb or mga ganyan.
Oo.
We're sharing rides sa mga Grab. But the future, what they're looking at is even excess power you can share, excess water you can share. Ganyan. So your house can actually produce stuff. So, if you're looking at that, if you're always looking at the future, ganyan, those are the things you wanna see, diba? Kung ano mangyayari.
Oo. Now, let's focus on e-commerce. If somebody's starting up a new e-commerce store, selling, what are the key items? I remember kasi your talk on e-commerce years ago. Sabi mo, it's hard because you have to be a master of 6 areas. 1 is your product, 2 is your marketing, 3 is logistics, 4 is payment, and then 5 is website, and then the 6 is the trust, di ba? You wanted to create a trust badge nga. So nag-change na yan lahat ngayon. What do you think are important if you were to start a e-commerce store now?
Well, di ba you mentioned those 5? All of those got a lot simpler. Now you just sign up and then you have a store. Di ba? Or, another thing is go through a platform like those, like Shopee or Lazada. Instant yan. Di ba? Instant yan. But now, you can just sign up, have a store. So that mastering that is wala na. Siguro ang labanan na lang ngayon, the last one, trust. Di ba? Trust, and then how you present your product. Alam mo yung sa amin nga, I'm so unhappy with it. I think we can do better. That's why ngayong COVID, we're doing some improvements. Kasi, it's the time to do it. Kasi, less busy kasi wala kang kaming province. So, it's the time to do it. Then next is, yun nga if everyone can put up a site in one click, then we're gonna have to up the game, di ba? So, ang pinakamahirap na lang ngayon, I guess, is trust, and your marketing skills, and then your presentation. So, it's it's all mga subjective na kasi the technical ones are almost gone.
Oo, almost gone, no? Naayos na lahat
Oo, naayos na lahat. Oo. And then and then of course design. Ayan, puro subjective stuff na
But do you think the design or the handmade quality wins over pricing, o ano bang nakikita mo?
Because the internet, because of Google, diba? Yung search and you have to understand, diba, yung dati you can have an advantage just by where you are, where you're located. Kunyari, ikaw lang yung grocery door, or you're just outside the subdivision, you have an advantage, diba? Or katabi mo yung isang malakas na store, so you have an advantage. Pero sa internet, wala yun because everything's just one click. Nandun ka na sa kabila. One click, nandun ka na sa kabila. They can compare prices very easy, diba? So, talaga ngayon, I think more and more, it's gonna come down to the product. So you have to make sure that your product is competitive. And if you're a middleman, you have to watch out. Kasi ang nawawala sa internet is the middleman. So if you're a middleman, you have to watch out. You have to make sure that you're delivering value dun sa product. Kasi, dati you can get away yung mga dropshipping. Diba? Maraming dropshipping millionaires. Diba? But of course, anyone can do that. Anyone who's resourceful, hardworking. So maraming kalaban. Diba? If you want longevity sa business mo, just palipat-lipat ka. If you're a middleman, you have to really, really look out. Kasi sa internet, one click, they can compare prices. So you have to have a product that's worth buying.
Oo.
Something that's unique.
Now, next question. Parang magsa-start rin kasi talaga kami ng e-commerce store. So, question lang on taxing. Kasi a lot of the home sellers now are allowed, they're making money because there's no tax, di ba? Pero will there be a chance, will the government tax them at some point? Would it be, my question is, how do you price your product? Do you consider the tax or not?
Oh yeah, of course. We consider taxes kasi we have to pay. So, but ano naman, like yung Island Rose, wala namang problem. Kasi lalo na electronic payment siya, di ba? So it's always
Pero
required.
paano yung home base? Di ba, like you're doing your home base? I mean, when you consider the pricing, do you think na at some point, I mean, we'll have to pay taxes pag lumaki tong business na to?
Well, my son naman, home business lang, and plus he's 13 years old, diba? So parang binenta lang niya, it's just, but I think at some point, I think at some point, at some point in a business, when it becomes a real business, especially if you have a website, you have, you're going to have to impute all of those things, diba? Because first it's illegal, diba? So you have to impute all of those things na. Especially ang nagpapatas ng presyo dyan is yung mga VAT, yung mga ganyan. But ngayon kasi parang informal pa eh. But once you have a site or you're on Lazada or yung mga ganyan, you can't not do it. You're gonna get it. Yeah.
Oo nga.
But if I sold my item to my friend, well, of course, hindi pa naman. But yun nga, there comes a time may volume na yan. Eh. Yung sunod-sunod na, everyday na may delivery, di ba? First, you have to get a business permit, di ba?
Yeah. Oo nga. What do you think about
it? Start with that, di ba?
You have to start with that. What do you think of this, what's working now also is yung mga community selling, di ba? That became a boom during this pandemic. Did that impact you also, or what do you think of this whole community commerce happening?
Well, actually, we're yung even yung sa amin sa Island Rose, we also sell to our community, just like any other seller there. We're straight from the farm, diba? So we're able to compete with nearly anyone, diba? So I think that's something na you cannot avoid, but you'll have to sort of join. Diba? Even for the restaurants, even for the that's something na parang you have to that's the trend, eh, diba? That's the yung hyper localization they call it, diba? Na ang titingnan mo is yung kapitbahay mo, hindi yung like kami dito, there's an establishment outside our place. I live in Hillsborough. Like everyone patronizes that. Even my wife, even if you can go further, which is nice. It builds a sense of also community. Diba? Yung community nyo is yung closer. Diba? So you support also. Sometimes you'd support your community mate, whether it's your school community or your neighbor. Just because, diba? Just because. So I know some people now, their businesses are struggling then. So I support them. Diba? And I'm sure some of them support us also. They know we're having a hard time also. Everyone.
Okay. So in terms of kasi a lot of people are struggling financially also. So any advice on how to do it, or debt management? Paano ginagawa
yun? Actually, we're having a very difficult time also. But we're having a difficult time also because what we did is we continued all the salaries, all the so we didn't lay off anyone. Even here in the house, I didn't. Of course, it limits my personal ability to help others. Yung iba pang mga charity dyan, I didn't participate na. What we did is we helped our own first. So we didn't lay off anyone. Then we continued with their salary. Then, so it's very hard. Mahirap talaga siya. And at some point, it's gonna run out if things don't improve. It's gonna run out. So, siguro my advice na lang is talk to the bank. Diba? Talk to the bank and then be resourceful on other things that can be done, what you can do. Kasi like us, yun nga, nahihirapan din kami. And like I said, ang totoo niyan is at some point, it's gonna run out. So we have to do something. We have to do something. So, like us, you cannot tell me na Metro Manila lang, so I'm just going to stop na lang. I'm just going to stop selling. No, I'm not gonna do that because if I'm going to go down, I'm gonna fight for it. I'm not gonna go down, close down. Diba? Even if I sell every single stem in our farm just in Metro Manila, I'll do it. Diba?
Yeah.
So,
What do you think about I know na hindi natuloy yung lease store mo pa eh. What do you think about yung kung magsa-start up ng physical store or yung mga leasing? Di ba may mga issues din yan? What's your point of view?
well, the problem I see with the yung lifting nung the only difference you'll see really yung lifting nung lockdown tsaka nung lockdown. I'm sorry to say kasi baka may ma-offend. The biggest difference there is there's no difference really sa business. Business is still bad, di ba? The only difference is the bills start coming. Biglang dumating yung bill mo sa ganyan, yung rent. Biglang dumating yung bill sa, you're like, okay, so what happened? So what happened, di ba? So yung landlord mo will, or yung utility company mo will say, okay, we gave you some leeway for the pandemic, but we're going to amortize it. Let's say yung bank mo calls and we gave you some leeway and here's the bill, we're going to amortize it. Yung landlord, the same, di ba? So yun yung biggest difference pa lang ngayon. But yung income, still maliit. So I don't know how to do that. And then for example, I feel bad for the guys in the mall. Yung business mo is mall based. Kasi ang konti ng tao. If your rent is the same, I don't know how you're gonna do it, diba? How are you gonna do that? Unless yung the landlord naman, isa pa yun, kawawa din sila because they can't stop rent. They have their own bills, diba? But if they enforce the rent and everyone leaves, there'll be a ghost town naman. I think what happens na lang now is everyone has to work together, the banks, the landlords, and the tenants. Because if we don't, lahat tayo talo. We all lose. So we have to give way yung suppliers and people that are all of us lose diba? So like sa view for example, may mga nag-book ng COVID. What we did, we offered them of course to move it. Of course, alam nga naman diba? Some ask for refund. We try to not do it and tell them to move, and we try to give whatever extra we can. Kasi us ourselves, we need help to get our to give salaries to our employees. I mean, this work, pag mawala po, talagang wala.
Oo.
Diba? Talagang wala. I mean, at least tayo, we can sell stuff siguro, diba? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we really have to, especially the relationship between landlords, the bank, and the tenant. Diba? And then the suppliers and the clients na relationship. Kasi pag in-enforce mo, mawawala lahat. There's this one supplier na we do a monthly thing with. They insisted. I said, I'm sorry, I can't pay. Just don't renew me. So talo tayo. I don't have my service, and you don't have a client. Diba? So I just said, I'm sorry, I can't renew. We'll look at it next time.
Hirap no?
Oo, mahirap talaga.
Pero alam mo, so that's our situation now. Let's probably talk about moving forward in the next few months. So sa first muna, I think what would work for you is the view cabins kasi we're in the travel industry, and one of the things that people were saying that will bounce back first is road travel, Airbnb, and beach location, which view cabins have, diba?
Yeah.
So what do you think of that?
Well, the thing is there's some rules that sort of yung parang they want us so far parang there's talk na 50% capacity. Yung view even without that rule we were already running kasi low density place yan eh.
Yeah.
We don't accept a lot of clients. We have a cap on the number of people who can stay because we want private yung place, diba? We want a private the theme of our place is a private vacation for people, diba? That's what we're that's why there's separate cabins and then there's a distance between them and then hindi crowded. So when you say 50% pa, halos wala nang, so
So yun
yeah,
yung problem. Oh.
people will want to stay in the cabins sa view, but at 50% capacity, the income's not going to be fantastic. Diba? But it's okay. At least we're of service, and then I have something to give to my people there. Diba? Yung my employees there.
Mm-mm. Ano ba yan? May quarantine rules ba ang Pangasinan?
Same as everyone. There's talk na there's 50% capacity, and then of course all the measures naman madali lang yan.
Hindi, yung quarantine, meaning you need to stay 14 days. Ganun.
No. They're one of the places na least hit. What they're avoiding lang is people bringing the sickness there. So that's what they're avoiding. So we have all those safety measures. Actually, sa view, we're thinking also of putting 1 day apart for booking para a cabin is clean 24 hours before you arrive. Diba? So, diba? Para malinis. And plus also on our side, we're not rushing the bookings and so yeah, it may bounce back. I know a lot of guys in the hotel industry. The ones with the bigger rooms are gonna get hit. Diba? Yun yung medyo tatamaan. But yung people like us, liit ng business ko na.
Okay, now how about for e-commerce naman? What do you think for all this e-commerce to thrive with all the market? Ano bang mga kailangan gawin?
Well, yun, be more productive, diba? Be more like I said, diba? I think the productivity tools and stuff, it'll help a lot, diba? The analytics, ganyan, it'll help a lot because you'll know your customers. I'm talking in behalf of yung people who are just starting. Then there's so much opportunity. Maraming opportunity because we have how many internet users before COVID? Let me pull up. I think we have 73 million. I bet you that number has gone up a lot, diba? I bet you that number has gone up a lot, diba? So yung opportunity, sobrang dami. There's so much new services that you can think of, so much new services that can be available. People are looking for variety. People are looking for their lifestyle in their homes to be like their lifestyle outside. Diba? Ang dami, diba? So think of new services, new things that you can do, diba? And then once you have those tools, diba, yung mga productivity tools and analytics, you can see what people want, what people need, who your market is, diba? So those tools, ano yun eh, it's going to help you. It can help you think of new things. Like when we were looking at our analytics yesterday, so we were thinking maybe we should offer this thing or that thing. When you look at kunyari, yung concerns ng customers and even if you just listen to social media, yung pinag-uusapan, ang maraming opportunity eh. Maraming opportunity that you can tap, di ba? Na you don't have to copy your neighbor or other businesses. You don't have to copy them or there's so much. Siguro you just have to be more resourceful, di ba?
Meron ka bang nakikitang trending category? So for example, in food, because that's our where we are also. Nakita nga namin people are looking for variety. You cannot just sell just another steak, no? just because everybody's selling steak. So
Ah,
there's a lot of innovation rin. Like ngayon, si Chef Kel, nagbebenta siyang Mongolian kits na that you can cook at home, di ba? So parang there's variety. In other categories ba, what do you think? Like chocolates, flowers, or other like home categories, meron ka ba nakitang trending category that people can get to that would work in the future?
I think I think the general trend is people want to enjoy what they enjoyed outside, inside their house. Diba? So if you have an answer to that, whatever talent you have, let's say your talent is exercising, you can do your online exercise course. Diba? If your talent is cooking, you have to think about that. How do I give them that experience that they're eating in a restaurant? Because they're not in the restaurant, diba? Uh, diba? How do I give that experience in the house? You know, it's kasi ano of course we're looking to come back to the physical world, diba? But a lot of people now yung value nung home ano nila, maano na eh. It's stronger, eh, diba? So how what do you do to answer to that, diba? Like yan, yung home Mongolian kids, can you imagine? Can you imagine you can cook Mongolian in your house, diba? Or like my wife has this Tex-Mex Tuesday that she does that's gone crazy. Diba? Parang club nila na Tex-Mex ano.
Oh, yeah.
Tex-Mex sila. So that's something that's ano that you can enjoy in the house. That otherwise you couldn't have done. Diba? Zoom meetings, Zoom drinking sessions, yung mga ganyan.
Oh,
Diba?
okay.
So it's things you can enjoy. So I think yun yung ano kasi it's sort of the new normal until something changes. That's the trend. Yun nga, the trend is your friend until it's not. So, so that's the trend. So
Okay.
as long as
All
it's
right.
normal, those experiences are the ones you have to answer.
Okay. Now, we'll end this discussion since it's Father's Day on a Father's Day note, no? So I have a few questions for you as a father, di ba? So, first, dine in or stay at home? Would you bring your family out to dine in a restaurant, or you'll keep them at home?
Us, we're going to be staying at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gaming versus letting the kids do gaming the whole day, or what's your style for handling gaming usage for your kids?
Well, we let them do both, but like I said, we try to balance it. They have their schoolwork also, and then we have our book thing that we do. So, and my kids are learning things also like cooking and all those things. They take turns sometimes. That's why yung dinner namin is at home kasi we also like preparing ourselves. They take turns, and then nagugulat nga ako minsan the stuff that comes out of our kitchen now. Eh. So, yeah. So, yung kids,
Okay.
ganun. Ganun yung the way we treat them.
Okay. What do you think about traditional schools going online versus homeschool? What do you think? Where will you put your kids?
Well, they're going to be online. Their schools already said it. So, I just hope the schools, just like the businesses, diba? The businesses, we of course we all have to look for those new opportunities, those new ways of doing things. I hope they do also because they can't do what they're doing today if they're going to go online. They have to think of. So I haven't seen it because it hasn't started. Diba? It hasn't started, so I haven't really seen it. But they also have to be creative. But it's going to be online. It's going to be online. Most of it. Most of it.
Okay.
Of course, ang kalaban nila dyan is if we take a look at it, and then yung pala, the online school is better than the traditional school going online, then they're gonna be in a bit of trouble, diba? So they have to, again adjust.
Okay. And maybe a last Father's Day question. What do you usually expect? Or do you expect a gift ba? Or what do you expect as a father going into Father's Day?
Ako, I never expect a gift. Not really. Kasi, well, yung business thing kasi namin, both, no? Yung, even yung view or yung island road, both of them deal with vacation. So basically, pag vacations na yung occasions. So basically, when it comes to occasions, we're always working. So it's always busy, you know. So I don't really expect so much things.
Okay, and maybe just final thoughts to close this discussion. As fathers, di ba tayo, parang we carry the family on our shoulders eh. So, of course, as entrepreneurs also, so dalawa yon. You have employees, you have to run the business and father. Any advice for fathers who are struggling or coping up with the pandemic and how to handle this?
Well, uh, the world now is online. Even if you just look at your stream, yung stream mo sa Facebook, yung groups mo sa Viber, you'll find a lot of opportunities, diba? A lot of things to look forward to, diba? So, and then well, don't listen too much to the news. They're also selling you something. Eh. They're selling you bad news. Diba? So, yeah. So why would you do that to yourself? Tapos yung talking about mga controversial things, that's a waste of time. Eh. Diba? What you wanna do is look at what can be done. We can't stop eh. Because we're fathers, diba? We can't stop. I can't say na ito na yung nangyari, give up na tayo, diba? We can't do that, diba? So what you want to do is continue finding things, diba? And then maybe think of what's next. Think of what you can do. Think of any talent that we can harness to to look forward, diba? And yun nga eh, just looking at your streams and your friends. You know, us when we get together with my friends, we do this Zoom or Facebook or Google Meet meetings. Yung, kasi gano'n na ngayon, eh, diba? So, you know, pag open pa lang nung camera, ganito, like ngayon, we're talking about how to improve things. Ganon din kami. Ganon din kami. We, of course, always there's one guy there who's going to be negative and parang the world is coming to an end, diba? But, you know, you have to encourage each other, diba? So you have to keep on looking, and then ano naman eh, the thing is in any business as entrepreneurs and as in any business, what you need to do, if you can solve your own problem, that means that's a business because you're solving a problem. Because business naman is nothing more than solving problems, diba? So for example, sa amin, I need to greet my mom, I need to greet my girlfriend, my wife. How do I greet her? That yung message ko becomes stronger. Diba? And that's the problem that we're solving sa Island Road. Without breaking my wallet. Diba? Yan yung mga problems. Diba? And as a business, all you're doing really is solving that problem. Diba? How do I eat in my house, give the experience to my family, na parang kumain kami sa labas. So I look online, someone's going to solve that problem for me. Diba? Or if I can solve that problem for other people, that's my business. Diba? Yun lang naman ang business. Eh. Solving problems. Diba? I want to take my family out on vacation. I want it private. I want it somewhere we can drive and do bonding. Gusto ko aircon, malamig. Gusto ko comfortable yung kama. What my business is telling them is, I can solve that problem for you. Here's my business. Here's my offer. Diba? So just think of problems and how to solve them. Tama ba?
Tama. Oh, galing. Thank you, Dustin.
Oo naman, diba? Sabi nga niya, just solve your own problem. Then you'll have a business.
Then you have business. Yes, correct. All right. Thank you. And happy Father's Day. Advance happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
Do you expect flowers ba?
Thanks for the call,
Ano?
Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you. Thank you for talking to us. Thank you for talking to us. Galing. Thanks.
How was it?
Huh? Okay, it's good. Yeah.
We're not on air, no?
Well, we're still on air.
Really?
Yeah. So, ano lang, we'll close this discussion lang. Anong tawag dito? Ano bang Father's Day? May Father's Day ba ang Island Rose promotion?
Well, we have, actually now, kasi what we did, we cut our product line kasi ang hirap mag-coordinate sa suppliers. Eh. So all the products in the site just come from the farm. Wala yung mga products that we source from others, ang hirap-hirap. So what we did, we narrowed down our product line to our products. But
Meaning roses lang.
So like before, we do source from other places yung mga father's products. Ngayon minimal, but a lot of people still give naman to fathers also. And of course, when they fix their house, they want something there sometimes.
Oh, pero pag fathers, meron bang color yan or red rin?
It's iba-iba. But magtataka ka nga eh kasi people, I guess ang comfort zone nila is red.
Okay.
But me personally, I give more other colors than red. Kasi it's unique eh. Diba? It's unique.
What's a recommended color?
Oh, me personally, personally, we have a 3 kind of pink na combination. It's called glitter. I like that. But as a single color, our orange ones open very big. So maganda siya.
Ang galing. Ang galing.
Kasi lang they also open kaagad. So yung base life niya mas affected siguro. Pero yung pagbukas niya maganda.
Maganda. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.